Hi everyone, welcome back. You've made it to Friday's lesson. Today we're going to look at expanded method for subtraction, and we are going to exchange. So yesterday we exchanged using counters. Today I'm going to show you how to exchange using digits. Okay, you can use counters today to support you if you need to. We might look at counters for step 1, but definitely for step 2 and 3, I would like you to start thinking about your exchanging with digits rather than exchanging with counters. Okay, but feel free to get your counters out if you need to use them. So for step 1 today, we are going to use expanded method to subtract 3 digits and ones. For step 2, we're going to use 3 digits subtracting multiples of 10. So that again is 10s, 20s, 30s, and 40. For step 3, we're going to use expanded method to subtract 3 digits and 3 digits, but we are going to exchange as well. Now we might need to exchange ones, we might need to exchange tens. Okay, so we are going to have to work through our steps very carefully and strategically to make sure that we don't make any mistakes. So our steps to success today is that we are going to partition our digits into the correct place value column. Now that is very, very important. Making sure you put your hundreds in the hundreds, your tens in the tens, your ones in the ones, and when you exchange, making sure you've exchanged across the correct columns as well. You then need to subtract each column separately with exchanging if you need to, and then you need to add your columns and combine them to get your total. So let's look again at our key terms here. So when you exchange, when you want to exchange a 10 counter, you need to make sure that you exchange it for 10 ones. The same for 100. When you want to exchange a 100 counter for tens, you need to make sure that you give your tens column 10 tens. Okay, so let's follow our steps to partition 566, take away 8. So we need to partition our digits first. So I'm going to partition 566. Remembering from our lesson on Tuesday how we partition digits. So 566 is made up of 500. How many tens? 6 tens. So 6 tens is 60. How many ones? 6 ones. So in my ones column, I'm going to put 6 for my ones. Okay, now what am I subtracting? I am subtracting 8. I'm going to go here to my next line. I'm going to take away, making sure that's the correct color. Take away, and I'm taking away 8. So 8 is a ones digit, so 8 needs to be in the ones column. Okay, this is very, very important, making sure you keep your digits in the correct place value. Let's draw a line so we know that that is the end of our partitioning. Okay, so 6 take away 8. I immediately can see that I don't have enough. I don't have enough ones to take away 8 because I will end up with a digit that isn't quite a positive number. So I'm going to go across to my tens. Let's go across to my tens. Mr. 10, could I please have one of your tens? He says yes, of course. So I'm going to change this here. We no longer have 6 tens, but we now have 5 tens. So we have 50. Okay, we now have 50 here. And my 10 digit goes into my ones. Okay, so this number becomes 16. Now I have 16 in my ones because I've added my 10 and I need to take away 8. Okay, so I'm going to get my number line to help me. So you can do this either with a number line or you could do it with counting backwards, or if you know what your number bonds are, you can just work it out. So I'm going to start with my number line. Okay. So I'm going to put 18 here, 16, sorry, 16 here. That's my starting number. And I'm going to do 8 jumps backwards. So off we go. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now remembering with each jump, we are taking 1 away. So let's make sure that we do this correctly. So 16 take 1 is 15. Okay, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I'm going to end on 8. Okay. So 16 take away 8 is going to be 8. Okay, making sure I use the correct colour here. Okay, I have 50 here, 5 tens. I'm not taking anything else away. So I'm going to just put my 50, bring that down, 5 tens. Okay, how many hundreds? Well, I had 500. I didn't have to exchange anything. I don't have anything else to subtract, so I'm going to keep it as 500. Now, I can't leave my answer as 550 and 8. I need to recombine them. Remember, that's our last step, so we need to add them all together. So 500 plus 50 plus 8 is 558. So my answer to 566, take away 8, is 558. Okay. So now I want you to have a go with this number sentence. Okay, your number sentence to have a go with is 566 take away 9. Remember, you need to partition your digits. You then need to subtract each column and exchange if you need to, remembering that if you need to exchange, you need to exchange 10 tens for 100 and 10 ones for ones. Okay, so there is your little key there to help you. Pause the video, have a go, and we will come back and mark it together. Okay, let's have a look and see how you got on. So our first step is that we need to partition our digits. So we're going to start with 566. So we're going to do 500 for our hundreds, 60 for our tens, and 6 for our ones. We're going to take away 9 ones. So we're going to subtract, take away, and we're going to take away 9. Okay, because 9 is our ones digit, we don't need to partition it, just goes in the ones column. Draw our line to tell us that we are done with our partitioning. Okay, so I can see 6 take away 9. I can't do that, so I need to go over to Mr. 10. Mr. 10, can I have some of your 10s, please? Yes, of course you can. And there are now 5 10s left, which means I have 50. Okay, I have 50 left, no longer have 60, and I put my 10 in my ones column. I now have 16 take away 9. Do I have enough to take away 9? Yes, I do. So 16 take away 9 is 7. I know that because I know my number bonds, but if I wasn't sure, I could draw a number line and I could do 16 on this side on the end of my number line and count back 9 jumps. Okay, you could count back 9 jumps. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you could do your jumps like that. It's entirely up to you what you do. I'm going to just carry on like this, but you're more than welcome to use a number line. So let's do our tens now. I have 50, take away nothing. I still have 50. Okay, although we exchanged, we still have 50. 500, take away nothing is 500. Now I need to recombine my answer. 500 plus 50 plus 7 equals 557. Now we need to make sure we put our answer back in our number sentence. So 566 take away 9 is equal to 557. Okay, so I hope you got that correct. If you didn't, pause the video, have another go, follow your steps carefully, draw some counters if you need to, use a number line, okay, if you need to with your subtraction as well. Remembering your key here, if you're exchanging tens for ones, you need to make sure you put 10 in your ones column. Okay. Right, let's look at step 3. Oh, sorry, step 2. Step 2 here, we are subtracting multiples of 10. Okay, we're still following the same steps, so let's look at step 1. Step 1 says I need to partition my digits into the correct place value. Okay, so we need to partition 248. So I'll partition 248 into 248. Okay, and I'm subtracting 70. So I'm only going to have 70 in my tens column. 70, and you can put a 0 in your ones if you want to, because you don't have any ones. You can do that, it's not a problem. You can leave it clear as well if you want to leave it clear. You don't want to put a 0 in there, it's not a problem at all. So let's have a look at our ones. 8 take away 0, we know 8 take away 0 is 8. That's easy to do, making sure we keep our digits nice and neat in the correct place value column. Okay, so we need to move that digit over because it's just slightly out. Right, 40 take away 70. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough 10, so I need to go across to Mr. 100. Mr. 100, could I please have one of your hundreds? Yes, of course you can, but you need to make sure that you exchange me for 10 tens, because 10 tens is equal to 100. Remember, that's our rule there. So we take one of the hundreds away. We only have 100 in our hundreds column. We put our 10 tens, our 100 in there. We now have 140 take away 7. Okay, now a little trick for you here. If we cover up our zeros, I cover up that 0 there, and I cover up that 0 there, that is 14 take away 7. Okay, so 14 take away 7 is 7, but we need to make sure that we're adding our zeros because it is a tens digit. So if I know that 14 take away 7 is equal to 7, then 140 take away 70 is going to equal 70. Okay, so we can use the number facts we know to help us work out bigger numbers. So 140 take away 70 is going to be 70. Okay, 100 take away nothing else is going to be 100. And then our last step is that we need to make sure we recombine our answer. So 100 plus 70 plus 8 is 178. So our answer to 248 take away 70 is 178. Okay, so you need to have a go now with this number sentence here. 248 take away 60. Remember that if you are exchanging tens, you need to make sure you exchange 10 of them. If you're exchanging ones, you need to make sure you exchange for 10 ones. There are your steps there. Make sure you do them systematically. Do step 1, step 2, and step 3. Pause the video, have a go, and come back when you have finished. Okay, welcome back. Let's make sure we have done this correctly. So our first step is that we need to partition our digits. So let us look at what we have. We have 248. So 240 and 8. Okay, so 240 and 8. Lovely. Okay, we are taking away, subtracting 60. Okay, so 60 in a tens column, and there are no ones. As I said before, you don't need to put your 0 in there. I like to put my 0 in there because it just keeps everything nice and tidy. Okay, so I have enough ones to take away 0. I have 8 to take away 0, so I can do that. That's 8. 40 take away 60. I don't have enough 10, so I need to go across to the hundreds. Remembering when we're exchanging hundreds, we need 10 tens. So taking 100 away from 200 leaves me with 100. And I put my 100 there in the tens column, so I have 140. Okay, so let's have a look here. If we have 14 take away 6, I know that that is going to be 8. Okay, so if 14 take away 6 is 8, then 140 take away 60 is going to equal 80. Well done. So we use the number facts we know to help us with bigger numbers, okay? So 140 take away 60 is going to be 80. Excellent. Okay, now we need to remember that we've exchanged this 200, so we only have 100 left. So 100 take away nothing is going to be 100. Okay, and our last step is we need to recombine these numbers because we can't leave them as 180 and 8. So 180 plus 8 is 188. So our answer to 248, take away 60 is 188. I hope you've got that. If you haven't, pause the video, go back over your steps and work very carefully. Let's look at step 3. Now, step 3, we are going to use exactly the same 3 steps we've been using all along, okay? But our digits now are a little bit different. We have a 3-digit number subtracting a 2-digit number, okay? So that means that we need to subtract 1s and 10s. And that means we might need to exchange 10s into 1s. We might need to exchange hundreds into 10s. So let's follow our steps and see how this is going to work. Okay, so we have 248 take away 62. So my first step says I need to partition my digits. So 248, let's start with that one. We have 200, 4 10s, which is 40, and we have 8 1s. I partitioned 248. I then need to subtract 62. So we need to partition 62. So I have 6 10s. 6 10s is 60. And I have 2 1s. So I need to put my 2 1s in my 1s column. And making sure your digits are underneath each other. Okay, the 10s are underneath each other and the 1s are underneath each other. Okay, let's just move this down so we've got space to write our answer. Right, okay, so we have partitioned our numbers. Step 2 is subtract each column and exchange if you need to. So let's do this. 8 take away 2. Do we have enough? Yes, we do. We don't need to exchange. So 8 take away 2 is 6. Okay, let's look at our 10s. 40 take away 60. Don't have enough in my 10s column to take away my 60. So I'm going to have to go next door to my hundreds. Mr. 100, could I please have some of your help? He says, yes, of course. So we take 100 from there, we put it here. We now have 140. So 140 take away 60 is going to be 80. Okay, because 14 take away 6 is 8. 140 take away 60 is 80. Okay, 100 take away nothing is 100. So we need to recombine this now to make sure we have a complete answer. So 100 plus 80 plus 6 is 186. So my answer to 248 take away 62 is 186. Okay, make sure, like I did there, that you're copying over your answer correctly. You're not mistyping a number, you're not miswriting a number. Okay, you need to have a go now. Please remember these exchanging tips. Okay, 10 counter becomes 10 1s, 100 becomes 10 10s. Your number sentence to have a go with is 248 take away 52. Okay, so pause the video, have a go now, make sure you are using these 3 steps. Okay, so let's have a look at how we do this. Step 1, partition your digits. We have 248. So we partition 248 into 240 and 8. Okay, and we are going to subtract 52. So we need to subtract 50, 5 10s, and 2 1s. Okay, so can you see I'm slightly off there with my alignment? So I'm going to move my digits around to make sure they're all underneath each other. Excellent. So 52, 50 and 2, 248, 240 and 8. Okay, now we are going to subtract. So 8 take away 2, we can do. 8 take away 2 is 6. Well done. 40 take away 50. We don't have enough here, so we need to go across to the hundreds. What am I going to do with my hundreds? I'm going to exchange. Well done. I'm going to take one of my hundreds away. So I'm going to only have 100 left in my hundreds column. And I'm going to put my 100 in the tens column because it's changing into tens. And I have 10 of them. So it makes 140 now in my tens column. So 140 take away 50. Well, I know that 14 take away 5 is 9. So 140 take away 50 is going to be 90. Okay. If you weren't sure, you could use a number line to help you. I'll show you how you do this. You've got 140 on this side, and you're going to do jumps of 10. Let's get our jumps ready. So we're going to do jumps of 10. We need to do 5 jumps of 10 backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we are subtracting 10 each time. Minus 10. So 140 minus 10 is 150. Now be careful when you're using jumps like this in a number line. You need to make sure you are writing your digit exactly on the right place where the number jump, where the jump lands back on the number line. Okay, otherwise your counting will be incorrect and not accurate at all. Minus another 10, so 150 take away 10. It's only the tens digit that's changing. 140. Sorry, that's 30. This will be 120. See how careful you need to be to make sure you are counting backwards, okay? Because you can easily make a mistake. So we've done 1 jump, 2 jumps of 10. We need to do 3 jumps of 10, so minus another 10 gives us 110. Okay, subtract another 10 gives us 100. Well done. And we're going to subtract another jump of 10. So 100 take away 10 is going to be 90. Okay. You could just count backwards in tens if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you which method you feel confident using. And can you see when I'm writing my answers, I'm writing it exactly where the jump lands back on the number line. Okay, if I write it anywhere else, I'm going to get confused and I'm not going to be able to keep track of how many jumps I've done and where my numbers are. Okay, so we have 90 there. We have 100, take away nothing is still going to be 100. Okay, and then let's recombine this answer to make sure that we have a complete answer. So 100 plus 90 plus 6, 196. So my answer to 248, take away 52 is 196. Okay. I hope you got on all right with that. If you didn't, make sure you pause the video, go back to step 1 or step 2, just to help you consolidate your skills before you move on to step 3.